Peter here, aka Peter Freakout 10, and it's time for another update. Heck yeah. Now, this ain't really much of a big update. I guess you could say one of them because I got a new console, but for the most part, it's just games and one movie. That's all I got, and really sorry about the review of Red Dead Revolver. I actually plan to record this review later today, so you guys will see that from me later. I'll give my thoughts on this game, but yeah, it's coming. Just have been very busy recently. Also, another thing I want to say is that I was just working on my blog. I had a big blog to write that is for films that I'm excited for this year. If you guys haven't seen the blog, definitely go and check it out. You guys can go to my Facebook page and see it. Basically, I'll try and post it in the description below. Just have been focusing a lot on that, written a lot. Those are films I plan to see this year and review, so be on the lookout for that if you guys haven't seen it. But just wanted to get that out right now because I know a lot of people don't really know that I have a blog, but that's basically what I plan to do. And all that aside, let's get into the review. Well, not review, update, even though there's not much to show, but let's get started. Now, starting off with the games, I actually got 2 PlayStation 2 games, 1 Xbox games, and finally got around to getting myself a 360. I've been really wanting to get one to move up from where I already am. Granted, I'm still going to play the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. I just wanted to move up from where I already was and look at some of the games on those systems, because a lot of them look amazing. Definitely plan to play some more in the future. Sure, but these are the games that, one of them I've actually already beaten because I bought these a couple weeks ago and decided I'd give an update on them. Another thing I just want to show is a quick poster update. This is actually one that I actually got for a Christmas. I never actually have showed it on video because I've been very busy, but right over there I actually got a RoboCop poster. I got this for Christmas. Forgot to show it the last update because I had a lot on my mind, but that's the RoboCop poster I got. The future of law enforcement. Part man, part machine, all cop. Love that poster. That was for the original 80s film. I did a review on RoboCop, so if you guys want to see my thoughts on it, definitely check out my review. It's on my channel. If you guys type in RoboCop review, it'll be there. But definitely plan to talk about the sequel sometime. But that's the poster I got. Now onto the stuff. So altogether, I got like 6 games and 1 film. But let's not beat around the bush. Let's get into them. Now, the first game that I actually got, this is actually one that is a sequel to a game that I've already played, and I like the other game. It really, though, was built up as this huge thing that it didn't come out to be, and I felt it could have been just a teensy bit better. But for what it was, I had a really fun time playing it, so figured why not pick up the sequel. And I am talking about The Getaway, Black Monday. I've already beaten this game, but I played the first Getaway. The first Getaway, as I said, is a really good game. It's just the problems that I had was it felt unfinished. It was glitchy in some parts. And the ending didn't really do it for me. This, though, I think is a much bigger improvement over the last game. I think this is a great game. This time, the graphics are much better. As it says on the back, ultra-realistic London. If you guys want to read the back there, pause it. Ultra-realistic London, 3 playable characters. Basically play as Ben Mitchell, who's a cop. Each of them have their own abilities. So when you play as them, they each have their own abilities. Like Ben Mitchell's able to arrest people. Eddie O'Connor is a boxer, so obviously he's going to be beating up on people. He can dual wield. And Sam, who's the other character who is with Eddie, is basically a stealthy hacker. But I thought it was a really fun game. I thought the controls were much better than the first. Granted, it still feels a little bit clunky, but definitely not as clunky as the first game. So for what it's worth, it definitely is a fun game. One day I may review this game along with the first game, but that's the Getaway Black Monday. That's one I picked up. Not right now though, because I got a lot going on. But the next game that I got, this is actually one that when I first heard about the game, it intrigued me. I love unique first-person shooters, and I thought this game looked like so much fun. I love the idea of you being this cowboy vampire, and from what I've played of it, it's actually a really, really fun game. So if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. If you like unique first-person shooters, I think you're really going to like this game, and I'm talking about Dark Watch. I think this is a really fun game. Definitely a unique one, too, as you guys can see on the back. Those want to read the back. Basically, you're like this guy, this cowboy named Jericho Cross, who's abandoned, and you see in the beginning he's robbing this train and basically trying to steal, like, some stuff on it. And what happens is the train that he's robbing actually gives him the ability to turn into a vampire because he unleashes this evil being into the world, and what happens is he gets bit and basically decides that he's going to join this community of people known as the Dark Watch and protect them from all of the evil going on in the West. It's a really unique game. I think that the idea is cool. The gothic setting is really well done, and you get to drive at some points in this game, even though it's in the West. So I want to see what the disc is like. Basically, I haven't gotten too far in this game. I started playing it, but you get your assortment of weapons. A lot of them I haven't really used yet. There's turret sections. Here's the vehicle parts. You get a horse and this Dark Watch Coyote. I don't know what that is. But so far, it's actually a really fun game. Really good graphics. I'll give a full review on it. I think the voice acting for this game is well done. Like, Rose McGowan does the voice of Talia. But yeah, what I will say is hot in this game. But definitely fun from what I've played so far. I'll give my final thoughts on it once I've beaten it and give my review of it. But that's Dark Watch. And the last PS2 game that I actually got, this is one that is based on a Marvel character, and I saw the movie recently, which this movie actually has a trailer for the DVD of the movie, and the movie actually has a trailer for this game, which I actually found funny. But this character I really enjoy. I like the movie. I was surprised how much I liked it. I put it as one of the best of 2004, but this game I thought looked really interesting. It looked like fun to finally play as this character, and this is slapped with a big old M rating, and this is a Marvel game, so don't let your kids play this game. But I thought, so far from what I've played of this game, it's a lot of fun. It's violent, it's off the wall, it's something that I don't think anybody in Marvel would have allowed this, but that is The Punisher. This game is awesome. I mean, well, I wouldn't say anybody would allow it. I think they would be surprised at how violent it is, because when you shoot people, sometimes their limbs will get shot off. You could use many different weapons. This is not following directly from the movie. They take certain elements from the movie and put it in the game to kind of tie it in with the comic book world and make the movie kind of sort of intertwine, but it's done by the original story is actually done by Garth Ennis and Jimmy Palmiotti, who I think actually took part in the comics. And you can go around, you could shoot people, you can actually interrogate people for answers. Like this one guy, you can actually hold him under a drill. There's another guy who you could stuff into a wood chipper. Another guy actually gets eaten alive by piranhas. Like, that was messed up. Another guy gets thrown into a snake. So there's a lot of methods you can use for this game. Definitely a lot of methods you could use to torture people. And the voice acting is actually done by Thomas Jane, who actually plays the Punisher in this game. Plays him in the movie, plays him in the game, and he does a good job still. So that's the Punisher. Definitely plan to review that once I beat it. A lot of these games, I've actually started playing them because I really wanted to play them, because a lot of them look so awesome. I honestly thought I was going to wait for a bigger update so I could do them, but I couldn't wait that long, and I really wanted to play them. But Next up is another game in a series that I actually enjoy. This is an Xbox game, and it's a game that, honestly, a lot of people were on the fence when they first heard about it. It's hard to describe, but a lot of people seem to like this game. It's easy to see why, but when it came out, a lot of people were on the fence about it. A lot of people were like, they're taking the series in a new direction, and it seemed like out of the ordinary for this company because they did such a great job with the last game being ported to the Xbox that nobody ever thought that this game would be good. And believe it or not, it's doing well. I do admit the sales aren't the best, but it's gotten positive reviews, and it got good review from EGM, but it seems to be getting good reviews. Just the sales aren't the best. But that game is none other than Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. This is only for the Xbox. Sorry, PlayStation 2 owners, much like the last one. But instead of Infogrames developing this game, this one's actually done by EA Games. And so far, it's actually a really fun game. I definitely like the feel of it. It's like this Western sort of approach that they went with for the game. It looks really good. The graphics of this game are outstanding. This is one of the best looking Xbox games I think I've ever played. And overall, it's just a really, really fun game. Definitely well made. You can switch between first-person shooting and platforming, which I thought was a nice addition. And you can upgrade your abilities. You get like ammunition like this, which has its own personality. Like you could shoot these bees at people and they swing and they go fast at them. I haven't beaten it all yet, but I'll give more thoughts on it once I've beaten it. You can also shoot like these skunks and they'll stink up people. You can bag them because that's basically what you are in this game. You're a stranger who's a bounty hunter, and basically what he does is he goes around and arrests all the criminals in the area. And so far, it's a well-made game, but I'll get more into why I like it later. Now on to the two Xbox 360 games that I started my collection with. And these two games, I honestly thought looked awesome. I'm going to talk about Red Dead Revolver next, but because one of them is a Western, and I really just wanted to play this game. I thought it looked really interesting. I loved like the feel of it, much of the same way of how this game did it. And I'll be honest, these two games have their pluses and minuses. I'm not going to say which one is better because a lot of people are comparing this game to the other Red Dead Revolver. But for what it is, I think it's a really, really fun game. It definitely has some stuff that Red Dead doesn't have, but I still think that they're both good in their own ways. Both of them still offer a lot of fun. Granted, I really don't want to say which one I like better, because I know I'm going to say, granted, I do like Red Dead a little bit more because Rockstar, but this particular company that made it is known for doing the Tony Hawk games, and I think they did a good job stepping outside their boundaries. But, of course, you guys know that that is Gun. Yes, Gun. And this game, basically, you're like an Indian named Colton, who basically is on this journey to figure out, because you learn in the game that his father was basically, well, I wouldn't say his father, because you learn in the game it's not really his father, but you learn in the game that he's with this guy who basically, he believes is his father, but he turns out he isn't, and now he's out for vengeance against those people who basically killed his father on this boat because he was involved in this sort of thing that was going on. And for what it is, it's a really fun game. Definitely a really fun game so far from what I've played of it. I'll give more of my thoughts on it once I beat it. A very great voice actor in this game, too. This is another game with Thomas Jane, but you also get Chris Christopherson. Lance Henriksen is your villain in this game. Tom Skerritt, Ron Perlman, among many others. This is a great voice cast in this game. Definitely think they put their all into it. And the next game, the last Xbox game that I got, was one that I was so drawn to the minute I heard about this game. I love having the hell scared out of me, especially with video games. As you guys know, I did a review of Manhunt. I love that game to death, and this game is no different. This is, without a doubt to me, the fourth scariest game I've played of all time at the moment. I already have four. Number 1 is Manhunt. Number 2 is Doom 3. Number 3 is The Suffering. And number 4 is this game. And this was like Sega's first leap onto the 360. And I think they did a great job transferring all of what they learned from the past generation into this generation. And I thought that they looked at some of the best from horror films like Seven and action games and put it all into this fantastic package. If you love horror and you got yourself an Xbox 360, I recommend this game. Condemned: Criminal Origins, which I've been playing a lot of at the moment. This game has, to me, I will say this. I'm going to say this right now before I know I usually save some stuff, but this game has one of the best written stories for a horror game I've ever seen. Right second to only Manhunt. This is such a creepy as heck game. It's what happens if Seven and Saw had a baby. And basically, the baby was a video game addict, and they put like a little bit of action stuff, survival horror of Resident Evil into it. This is Condemned, and it's such a creepy as heck game. It's basically like you're this guy named Ethan Thomas who basically is a detective who basically at the beginning we see him taking part in this investigation at this crime scene where basically he goes in and finds out that the murders that are committed in this area are being committed by this guy known as the Matchmaker, who has a tendency to kill his victims and place them with mannequins that he's made himself. And he gets framed for the murder because when he's at the scene, he's with these 2 other cops, and basically he steals his gun and he shoots the other cops with him, and he gets framed, and now he's on the run trying to prove his innocence. And it's a really unique game, definitely a really unique game. It's a first-person shooter, but it's more of a emphasis on melee combat. Like, here, as you guys can see, you got a sledgehammer in his hand. There's like forensic solving. Basically, in this game, you could use guns. Let me just give a clear example from the manual. Where is that page? Page 14. Okay. Thank God for the index. Alright, for the guns you got a revolver, you got a 45 cal single barrel shotgun, you get a double barrel shotgun, a stub machine gun. There's also the melee weapons you get. You can get a crowbar, you can get an axe, you can get a sledgehammer, a shovel, a pipe, a rebar, and a 2x4, and heck, you can even pick up a sign and use that. That's a lot of weapons you could use in this game, and from time to time you'll do some forensic tool solving. Basically, like, you could go in with like your cell phone and like scan areas. Well, I wouldn't say your cell phone, because your cell phone you're usually talking with the people your entire time. But you get stuff like that. You can also like scan for blood, and there's also collectibles to find. It's a really well-made game. I won't go as deep as to why I like this game besides the story itself, but definitely really creepy game, and definitely one that if you have not played, you love horror, I highly recommend this game. And last but not least, the DVD I got. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Dead giveaway, and I wanted to get this film on DVD for a while. I already reviewed this film, but I'll say it again. I love this movie. This has become one of my all-time favorite horror films. I think it deserves every amount of critical praise that it got, or should I say surprising critical praise, because this film, when it came out, nobody knew the big hit that it was going to be, and it just quickly became one of the most talked about films of all time. Me and my brother, we saw this film together. We both loved it. Well, I loved it. He liked it too, but he wasn't like in love with it like I was. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Let's just say it. Saw. Yeah, and I was watching this DVD last night. Fantastic DVD. I like that little slip-on cover that they did. Let me just adjust that a little bit more. But that's this. I love this little slip-on cover that they did for it. I know I'm repeating myself. Definitely makes it. I think it makes it work with the film and whatnot. Definitely draws you into it. I like that saw blade. You could just spin it around, make it look like a saw blade. But yeah, I said what needs to be said about this film in my review. Definitely said what needs to be said. Heck, I even got the shirt right here. This shows how much of a fan I am of the film. It's such a. It's just. Again, I like to have things straight. But I love this movie. I think it's a great horror film. Definitely, I think a game changer for the industry. I enjoy the direction by James Wan and just learning all about this film, like why it got made, how it got made. It just makes me have respect for James Wan, who knows how to direct his movies. He knows what scares people, and he knows just how to bring suspense in a way where it's not just like, like an over reliance on CGI. He understands that, and I think this film proves it. And I can see why it's gotten so much respect from people. I think the direction is solid for how low budget it is. It looks like a huge budget film. The acting is solid. The story is really well done. Carrie Elways, I think, does a great job. Danny Glover, Monica Potter, Michael Emerson, Ken Leung, Tobin Bell, all of which give fantastic performances. The effects are solid, really solid effects. It's definitely a bloody movie. Definitely some disturbing images that you will not unsee. And just one of those films that I think everybody, if you're a horror nut or not, should definitely check out. And I think it says on the back, best on the back. Gripping, intelligent, surprising, and genuinely ingenious, says Dark Horizon. Or Rex Reed, New York Observer. Saw will make your blood run cold. I think I agree with him there. Saw is definitely a movie that I oblige anyone to see. If you like Seven, you'll definitely like this film. This is definitely a grisly film, though. Be warned. But yeah, that's Saw. I'm really looking forward to seeing Saw 2. I'll give my thoughts on that once I've seen it. Just all around, that's an update right there. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video for my review of Red Dead Revolver. Tell me if you guys have played any of these games, or if you guys have seen Saw, even though I know one person already, my friend Kyle, commented. It said, like, he likes the film. But if anybody else has seen it, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.